Alright, dude, so let's talk about another Disney movie that I had not seen before, live action, that I've kind of wanted to see just because I've heard it was pretty bad. And I was interested to see what this movie would be with the cast involved in this movie. And that would be my favorite Martian, which is it's a remake from a TV show from the 50s about this regular man who encounters an alien that comes down from another planet. And I'm guessing that's the same synopsis for the TV show, which I have not seen. But again, it's based off an old TV show from the 50s. And Disney remade it in the 90s, in 99. Now, the first thing I want to say about this movie, My Favorite Martian, is that the cast is really great. Like, whether you like this movie or not, and a lot of people don't, the cast, I think, is actually really solid. Like, you've got Jeff Daniels and Elizabeth Hurley, Christopher Lloyd, Daryl Hannah, Wallace Shawn, Wayne Knight does a voice. It's really got a good cast, and I really do like that Disney did this a lot in these movies that were live action and weren't considered very good, but the casting is cool. Like how Robin Williams was in Flubber, or like Matthew Broderick in Inspector Gadget. Like, I thought that they were cool castings because I like those actors, but like the movies just weren't that good. But I like how Disney does that with the casting, but they didn't make the movies that great. Now, again, with casting-wise, like Christopher Lloyd in this movie, like an actor who is very zany and very appropriate for this role of this zany alien, I think is a good choice. Like, that's a really good choice for having this zany, out-of-this-world alien. Like, Christopher Lloyd has that kind of appearance and characteristics to do that. And he really does work sometimes in this movie. Some other times it's just because of like the writing, but he works in some instances in the movie, and I really love the casting choice of him especially. Like, he was definitely the coolest casting choice, even though I did like all the other cast. Like, they were all fine. Like, Jeff Daniels was good, Elizabeth Hurley was fine as well, Daryl Hannah was fine as well. It's funny seeing Daryl Hannah in this because I didn't expect her to be in this. I just knew the big three were in this, but I didn't know that Daryl Hannah was too, and I'm glad she was in it as well. Now, by all accounts, this is a comedy movie. It's a Disney comedy where, like, the jokes in this are really either sometimes funny or really extremely forced to where they just don't make any logical sense. And it's weird saying that with a movie about an alien coming down to Earth, but it's very inconsistent with the jokes. Like, there's some jokes I thought were kind of funny, and then there were some jokes where I just groaned and was like, are you serious? Like, and I understand this is for kids, but it really felt like it was a weird mix of, like, jokes that to me were not funny and then jokes that were kind of funny. It wasn't like it was hilarious at all. It was okay, but it was a very hit and miss with the jokes. Like, the jokes with the suit that Wayne Knight voices, the suit that Christopher Lloyd wears, I thought was kind of funny because he was kind of a mix between like the genie from Aladdin and the carpet from Aladdin. Like, this suit that literally is alive and just has Wayne Knight's voice is pretty funny. So I like that. But then there were some jokes that really sucked, like Christopher Lloyd, like his body. Like, his body parts start falling apart, and like Jeff Daniels starts pulling him off of him, and Christopher Lloyd starts crying, like freaking out, like, oh, I lost my arm, I lost my leg, and it's not funny. It's really cringeworthy to watch. Like, I don't know, like he just, like, and also Jeff Daniels, like, has Christopher Lloyd's arm, and like Christopher Lloyd's arm is massaging Elizabeth Hurley's neck, and she's like, oh, I like it, yeah. And then like Jeff Daniels has to go over, switch it with his arm, and then have Christopher Lloyd's arm go and grab the wine off of the counter and then bring it back, and it's just kind of humor that you would think might work, but it didn't work for me in a lot of instances. It really just is a very shenanigans movie where, like, it really doesn't always work. Like, there's a couple jokes that I think are fine, but a lot of the time it's just really wacky, and in a way where it's base level for kids. And I don't mean to say that as an insult to just kids watching this, but I feel like that's what it is. Like, kids at a young age are not going to have the full mindset of like, oh, this is funny for this reason. It's just trying to be goofy, and it is a goofy movie. It's just trying to be silly and zany. So I feel like kids will do like this, and probably a lot of kids did grow up with this movie. So it's overall like it's not awful. It's just got a lot of silly, dumb things in it. It just tries very hard to be too zany in the movie, and also, and I wanted to mention Wallace Shawn, who I liked in a lot of stuff. Really didn't like him in this movie. He was really annoying and obnoxious. I didn't like him at all in this movie. And this movie also came out at a time where, like I said, with the live-action Disney movies I already mentioned, like Flubber or Inspector Gadget, we got a lot of these Disney movies in the 90s that were very negatively, like, received. Like, they got really bad negative reception. This one, Flubber, Inspector Gadget, they got really bad reception critically, and a lot of people don't like these movies. And this was just during that time where Disney was literally just churning these movies out. And I'm not saying that they don't always do that, because they do. They always churn out all this stuff, whether it's good or not. But they did it during this time where like we got like a big amount of movies that just got really negative reception that were live action Disney movies. So this just falls in that category. Like, to me, like, it's not the worst thing ever, but it's not great. It's just okay. Like, there's jokes that suck and there's jokes that are funny. Like, the casting's great. There's a lot of annoying things about it, but there's some fun, entertaining things about it. It was watchable. Like, I watched it and thought it wasn't a bore to get through. Like, it was interesting and fascinating with the good or bad things in it. So yeah, overall, my favorite Martian was just really dumb. But it's not unwatchable or unentertaining. It's just... it just was to a fault. Like, it was entertaining to a fault. Like, there were things that sucked about it and things that were okay about it. So, yeah, if anybody has seen this movie and has grown up with it, I want to know, because I would like to hear somebody's input on this if they grew up with it, because I didn't grow up with this one, surprisingly. Like, I saw the trailers for it all the time as a kid, but I never saw it until now. So yeah, that's all I could say about my favorite Martian from 1999. Disney's version of it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and comment down below if you've seen this movie.